Hello again, and welcome to Retirement Coffee Talk with Sharice Rivers at Zinnia Wealth. Online, zinniawealth.com. So here's another this time of year thing that we got to talk about, and that's gift cards. I've got 3 in my pocket right now, burning a hole in my pocket, but I still haven't spent them. And I found a story about gift cards. It is estimated there are $23 billion worth of unused gift cards floating around out there.
Wow.
A number of them are in Sharice's junk drawer.
You know me.
$1 billion alone in Starbucks cards that haven't been used yet. And so when you have that money in your pocket like that and you're not using it, it's just, as we like to call here on the show, dead money. It's not working for you. So
it's not working for you.
Well, first of all, fess up here. How many gift cards do you have?
Oh, I'm embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. I get gift cards all the time. People just throw them at me. Here, for gifts, and then I just put them in the drawer.
Yeah.
And then I intend to use them, but then when I'm out to use them, I don't have them. It's a very bad habit of mine. So they do stack up, I'll be honest with you. But then I'll use them eventually, but there is plenty in there. It's kind of embarrassing.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about what we find in 401ks, we find in portfolios. You do your portfolio analysis, your x-ray, and there's people that have money and it's just not working. It's not gaining anything. It's just sitting there, or it's pulling back your gains because it's losing money.
Dead money? Is that what we're talking about?
Dead money. What do you find? Where is the dead money that people usually come in with?
I just had a young chap come in at the age of 69, and one of the dead money locations was a stable value fund.
Okay.
$1.5 million in a stable value fund. And I was, oh my gosh, if he just knew what we were making in our stable value fund, which is over double.
Wow.
And on top of that, some of our other fixed guaranteed rates are even higher than that. And, it was my first appointment, so I didn't want to say anything like that. It's like, oh, that's great. So you're super conservative. So if you lost 10%, you would have heart failure. He went basically.
Okay.
And so, but he's losing to inflation, right? So stable value funds they're stable, but there's no value. So I call that dead money. Savings accounts are making you 0.5%. Too much money in checking. I had somebody come in and they had like $400,000 in a savings account for no reason or anything. And I call that dead money. It's not keeping up with inflation. When there are so many alternatives out there, there's so many other investments out there that you can make more than that. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to worry about advisor fees. So we do offer those here. So dead money is very crippling. Basically, if you want to leave money to your heirs, or you want to leave money to those grandchildren that you love more than your children, a 2.5 to 3% rate it's not good enough, period. Right. Because you're going to live off it. And most people, it's IRA money, so they're going to have to take an RMD and pay the taxes on it. So it slowly goes down, down, down. So in some of these bonds out there right now, like the aggregate bond, I don't know, it pays somewhere maybe 4%, but it's sideways for the year. So it's just like, is this taking away from the 4% that you earned if it's not going up? And it's just been very rocky. So certain bonds are just not working. And the one thing that gets me the most, Randy, is things that are feed to death.
Okay.
So we were talking earlier about somebody you went in to go see because you were just checking things out, which I appreciate. Well, tell the story.
I go out and do a little research here and there. So I had somebody, a financial advisor, look at my holdings. I don't really think I have a portfolio, but I've saved money in a 401k, and I have money in a savings account, and we have money in a Roth, and we have, the standard stuff.
Yeah.
And so she looked at me and she looked at my stuff and she goes, I've got something I think you're really going to like. And I said, what's that? She goes, a variable annuity.
and we're against them here.
Exactly. And
More or less.
I got 12 years with Sharice, and I know that ain't good. And so she explains all this stuff, and I just looked at her and I go, what are the fees? And she went 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, 4 page. Oh, here it is, 4%.
Okay, yeah, that's normal. It's typical. And that is an absolute ripoff. This is that story where the advisor wins, where the white ivory towers are taking your money because even Randy, if it made 6, but the fee is 4, and I know people are like, what? 4? Is that even legal? It is so incredibly legal in variable annuities. So there's certain annuities we like, certain we don't. But I call variable annuities dead money annuities when you have that kind of fee, because then those variable annuities, they're not guaranteed. They can lose when the stock market goes down. So now you have a 4% fee, Randy.
Which continues no matter what.
No matter what. It's fair forever. And then the market goes down 20 or 30%.
Oy.
And now every year to get back to even, it takes 5 years, but it's going to take you longer because you got a 4% fee that you got to hit up against as a ceiling every year. And this is why I'm not a fan of them. I see when you come in, we do an annuity stress test. We see on average people averaging about 1.5, maybe 2% over the last 10 years in them, which is ridiculous because of those fees. And then we point out the fees, and it's just so humbling to people because they're like, it's not as good as I thought it was, because they have this funny money value and their account value. Say you put 100 grand in, maybe it's only at 150 15 years later, but the funny money value, it's a fake value. Maybe it's at 300,000. And so that funny money, you can never cash it out. You can never pass it on as a legacy. You're just allowed to take 4% from it, to live on. And then that's if you live long enough, right? And so just know that there's a lot of smoke and mirrors out there. There's a lot of noise. There's a ton of confusion. And it's taken me nearly 20 years to really sort through it all. And what we do is we sit with people between the ages of 55 and 78 every day, helping them with these retirement solutions and income planning and tax planning. And it starts with that written plan. So I definitely advise dead money. If you got it sitting around, there are sparkly objects out there that are really working right now. We're so excited about them. I feel like a hero every time a client comes in and he's like, wow, I can't believe we just made that. I can't believe we just did that. I'm like, me too.
Well, we would love to do a portfolio x-ray for you. And one of the things that comes out of that is the performance of what you are holding. You have your money someplace, and it's in some kind of a fund. It's in an ETF. It's in a mutual fund. It's in a bond. It's someplace. What is that doing? And is there things within your portfolio that are holding you back, which we refer to as dead money? Let's identify it, and let's get rid of it, and let's get you in something that will get you some growth, some income, and certainly some protection. Here's our number, and here's our website, and give Charisse a call, get a date on a calendar, and let's talk through it. 833-368-3680, 833-368-3680, or a real easy way to do this is go to our website, zinniawealth.com, ZINNIA wealth.com. There is a button there that says Complimentary Retirement Consultation, and when you click on that, you can schedule it right there.
Thanks for listening to the Retirement Coffee Talk podcast. If you have questions or would like to begin the process of building a tailored retirement plan, call Zinnia Wealth at 833-368-3680 or find us online at zinniawealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Zinnia Wealth Advisory, LLC, a registered investment advisor. The firm only conducts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded from registration requirements. Registration is not an endorsement of the firm by securities regulators and does not mean the advisor has achieved a specific level of skill or ability. Insurance products are offered through Zinnia Wealth Management, LLC, Florida license L078655, and Charisse Rivers, Florida license P037744. Zinnia Wealth Advisory, LLC, and Zinnia Wealth Management, LLC are affiliated entities. The information presented is believed to be current. It should not be viewed as personalized investment advice. All expressions of opinion reflect the judgment of the presenter on the date of the podcast and are subject to change. The information presented is not an offer to buy or sell or a solicitation of any offer to buy or sell any of the securities discussed. You should consult with a professional advisor before implementing any of the strategies discussed. Any legal or tax information provided in this podcast is general in nature. Always consult an attorney or tax professional regarding your specific legal or tax situation. Any client experience discussed on this show are unique to that client. Annuity and life insurance guarantees are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. If you withdraw money from or surrender your contract within a certain time after investing, the insurance company may assess a surrender charge. Withdrawals may be subject to tax penalties and income taxes. Persons selling annuities or other insurance products receive compensation for these transactions. These commissions are separate and distinct from fees charged for advisory services. Insurance products also contain additional fees and expenses. Social Security rules and regulations are subject to change at any time. Always consult with your local Social Security office before acting upon any information provided herein. References to specific investments should not be construed as being past specific recommendations. The returns for various indices discussed in this podcast do not represent the performance of the firm or any of its advisory clients. Returns do not reflect the impact that advisory fees will have on an investment. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. All investment strategies have potential for profit or loss. Different types of investments involve higher and lower levels of risk. There is no guarantee that a specific investment strategy will be suitable or profitable for an investor's portfolio. Historical performance returns for investment indexes and/or categories usually do not deduct transaction and/or custodial charges or advisory fees, which would decrease historical performance results. There are no guarantees that a portfolio will match or outperform a specific benchmark. Investments in fixed income products are subject to liquidity risk, market risk, index rate risk, credit risk, inflation risk, purchasing power risk, and taxation risk. Because bond prices fluctuate continually, their yields change constantly.